Well, hello there, motherfuckers, and welcome to your Raw review. The show was fucking boring this week. Holy fucking shit. They had to rearrange certain things due to Roadblock, which is going to be on Saturday. And the thing is, half the guys that are going to be involved in the matches aren't even going to be there. There's only two matches. You got Brock Lesnar and Bray Wyatt, which should have been at Mania. And then Triple H and Dean Ambrose. They should have found something else for Ambrose to do at Mania. They should have involved him in the world title or something like that. Instead, I don't know. They're going to do Brock and Dean, even though Brock and Bray seems like a bigger match. So, I don't know why they would do this. Why have a network special and blow a whole week of Mania buildup? It's supposed to be Reigns and Triple H. I'm not looking forward to it, but this is what we're supposed to be excited about. I'm having a hard enough time, knowing that this match is ahead. Now they're not even properly building it. After all the fucking build-up they did with the Royal Rumble, for God fucking sakes, the whole build-up was reliant on Triple H winning the Rumble. And now they're not even going to have Reigns there. I'm hearing different things. They're trying to sell Reigns' injury. I've heard that Reigns seriously injured his nose, like in real life. I'm not really sure if that's what it is. And if that is the case, boy, do they have bad luck with people getting injured every fucking 2 minutes in this company. Anyway, we start off with Shane McMahon and Vince. Vince, had an old picture, an old photograph of Shane and Vince, of himself when Shane was a little boy. He takes the photo, throws it down, and stomps on it. It was a pretty good segment. He has security come out, which I didn't understand. If Shane still has power in the WWE, how could Vince send security after him? I mean, I know he's battling to get control of Raw, but if you listen to the promo when he debuted, he said that, he's still a McMahon and he still has more power than Stephanie. So I'm not really understanding that. He beats up security. It was a cool moment for Shane. It made him, look good in front of everyone after not seeing him for a while. Some people like PW Torch were, a little bit angry about this. They said that they should have kept the mystique of Shane. I don't really give a fuck at this point. They need to do as much with Shane as they can because, this is the only thing that people like right now about this product. Nobody else is even talking about anything else besides Shane because it really is the only good thing going on right now. In the first match, you had Owens defeating Neville. This was a really good match. Fucking Neville diving over the top rope, and he didn't exactly fully land on his feet, but he didn't fall on the ground. It was pretty fucking awesome. Also doing a shooting star press, doing a bunch of high flying moves. Neville looked like he was really trying hard to impress. And I know Neville doesn't have a personality, but then again, that's because WWE chooses for him not to have a personality. As I've explained time and time again, and I feel like I'm wasting valuable air and oxygen explaining this shit. It's not Neville's fault that he's boring. The guy seems like he could be interesting. I've seen him in the Table for Three. His little promos that he cut in NXT, he ain't the worst. I'll tell you that. So, he could actually maybe have a personality that needs to be awakened inside him. Give him a character. At least let us know what Neville is. They tried some lame shit last year. He's a superhero, guys. So every person that, just because he comes out in a cape doesn't act like a superhero. As I said, the Hurricane was a superhero. That they actually made him act like a superhero. They weren't just saying he was a superhero. You see the difference there. Owens gets the win with a quick roll up. You know, I'm not sure how I feel about how Neville wasn't even on TV for weeks, and Owens just quickly just inches out a win. And it's like they don't know what they want to do because it looked like Owens was about to enter into a program with Big Show. Last week Big Show beat him by count out. He straddled him on the top rope and everything. Thank God they might not be going through with that, but they really don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what they want to do with Owens. They had him lose the IC belt just to have it win it back 2 months later. I mean, I don't get it. Fucking come up with an idea and stick with it for God fucking sakes. At the end of the match, Owens came back to the ring and started beating up Neville, and Sami Zayn came back. Now, this was pretty cool and everything, but I gotta say something here. This is where Vince Russo is absolutely right about the, what he said on the Wrestling Inc. podcast. Great podcast, by the way. I've mentioned it a number of times. How many people watch NXT? You might watch NXT, but the thing is, if the ratings for Raw and SmackDown are down and that's on TV, I guarantee you that many less people are watching NXT. So not everybody is going to know who Sami Zayn is. And like Russo said again, he had one appearance on WWE television. And he was also in the Royal Rumble, I believe. If you didn't see those two brief moments of Zayn versus Cena, or you didn't see the Royal Rumble, you wouldn't know Sami Zayn. You wouldn't at all. I think he was in the Rumble. Am I wrong about that? Anyway, if it was just Cena and Zayn, the thing is, motherfuckers, not everybody knows who Sami Zayn is. And they should have done a better job of explaining exactly who this guy is instead of they have a rivalry in NXT. If you weren't familiar with WWE and you hadn't watched in a long time, for example, and they just said NXT, like, why, Sami Zayn? Why, come on. Like, do something to explain who the fuck these people are. They have people showing up. Whatever happened to video packages and debuts? It's just all about surprises, but every now and again, building somebody up to get you excited for them is also a good method. Not everything has to be a surprise and come out of left field. That also makes things kind of predictable as well. Summer Rae defeated Brie Bella. She beat Paige a couple of weeks ago. What the fuck is up with this shit? Summer Rae, an old talent having hack. She's hot as fuck, but for God fucking sakes, why are they having her win against, like, top talent? Not saying that Brie Bella's top talent. They were committing a lot to Brie. They were giving her a title shot. Now, all of a sudden, she's a jobber. Lana came out and holy fucking shit. I said Summer Rae is hot. Lana is fucking beautiful. Something, about her having her hair up, everything was not a good look. Now, holy fucking shit. What a fucking tomato. That's what Taz used to say. I fucking agree with that term. She looked fucking good. She gave the X Factor to Brie. Is this gonna be a match at Mania? Where the fuck does this even come from? I don't get it. I don't understand these ideas. What is up with all these random matches? People coming out of nowhere, fucking not explaining anything, random rivalries. And this is Mania season, people. Fucking Mania season. Unless they're just going to have this match at Roadblock and that's just going to be it. But, this is Mania season, motherfuckers. Did they forget that this is, the time when they're supposed to be putting together one of the biggest cards of all time? And it feels like the build-up for fucking Sunday Night Heat most of the time. I mean, this is Not even Raw. It feels like fucking jacked or Velocity half the time. We're building up for this. Doesn't feel like Mania. Why are they half-assed the biggest show of the year? Do they not see that this is not the way how to do it? They have the network where if any of these writers need any ideas, years and years of fucking footage showing how to build up for a match dating all the way back to the 80s. They even built up for matches way better than this in fucking 1995. Yeah, the much feared 1995 in WWE history. Even then they built up. Even then, even though they were shitty characters, at least they had characters. At least people had personalities and things made fucking sense, and they were kind of random at times, but the thing is, they were a little bit less random than they are now. I would prefer 1995 to 2016, to be quite fucking honest. This shit is just, it's too much. It's too much. It's way too fucking much. Why is my brain hurting from watching professional wrestling, from watching sports entertainment? I said it so many times before. It ain't fucking rocket science. Have a storyline. Have characters. These two characters have a problem with each other, and they gotta resolve it by having a match in the end. It's not too hard. Have interesting things happen. Have them say interesting, thought-provoking things. But no, it's just the same fucking bullshit. It's shit that we don't even want to see. Where did they get Brie Bella versus Lana from? I don't get it. And Summer Rae winning a match, this shouldn't happen. Dean Ambrose comes out to cut a promo, and the thing is here, guys, what I have a problem with Dean Ambrose is they want to sell this guy as a lunatic, as a crazy man. Well, if that is the case, he just acts like a fucking goof sometimes. And I'm not saying that Dean Ambrose doesn't have a fun personality. He's not a good talker. Way better than, anybody else. I'd say he's in the top 5% maybe of, the best talkers and guys that somewhat have a character. But Dean Ambrose should be sadistic. Dean Ambrose is maybe better suited to be a heel. I remember when Dean Ambrose debuted in 2012, I said right away, Dean Ambrose should be conniving. He should have a stalker character. And I even remember, I says, what if Dean Ambrose, and I don't know what video this is, but I strictly remember it. Even before this match came about, I was even talking about this in 2013. I said, what if Dean Ambrose feuded with Triple H and he stalked Stephanie? If he was doing that right now, I mean, it probably wouldn't work, him being a face, of course, but I'm just saying it would have been interesting. I'm not saying do it DDP style, but Dean Ambrose, they always said he's a weirdo, he's a kook. You always heard Michael Cole say that these guys are out to lunch and shit like that. Well, then go ahead and make the guy crazy. Why is it that a guy like Al Snow, he conveyed, insanity so much better than Dean Ambrose? And Ambrose is at a higher echelon in WWE than Al Snow ever got to. So I don't really get it. What is so hard? If Dean Ambrose is supposed to be crazy, have him act crazy. Why is he not acting crazy if that's his character? If he is the lunatic fringe, why is he not acting like a lunatic? Triple H came out. He wouldn't get in the ring. And, this is the problem I have. Why is Triple H not getting in the ring with Dean Ambrose? Is he scared of him? Fucking physically, Triple H is double the fucking size of Dean Ambrose. Why do people talk from ramps and Titantrons? Get in the fucking ring, for God's sake. He makes a match between Ambrose and Bray for later on. The League of Nations defeated Dolph Ziggler in a 3-on-1 elimination handicap match. Ziggler supposedly wrote a tweet. Stephanie was mad. And this is what, how many people are actually on Twitter daily Now, I actually do have a Twitter, and I actually do follow Dolph Ziggler on there, but I haven't been on Twitter in months. And but it's like this storyline. It just no one knows about this. Stephanie just goes, "Hey, Ziggler, good thing you deleted that tweet." It's like people just turning the show on are like, "The fuck, a tweet? What? This is about a tweet? You put him in a match because of a bad tweet? Like it's just these. This is so lame. An excuse to have a match, and it's like you know that Ziggler ain't gonna win. The fuck is the point of it? And exactly what Ziggler said, like, and Stephanie's response, very relevant. Nobody remembers even that Ziggler actually beat the Authority. He actually got the pinfall victory. Him and Sting, it was a big moment. We all thought that WWE was finally going to give Ziggler everything that he deserved, and he got nothing. Instead, look at him. Look at him pathetically losing in a handicap match. I mean, this is all that happens. They get punishment matches and all this fucking shit. You know, and the League of Nations, like, Sheamus was the WWE champion 2 months ago. 2 months ago, motherfuckers. A little bit more than 2 months ago. And now look where he is. You know, this is like fucking insanity. Like, they don't know what to do with any of their talent. They shit all over them. When it doesn't work out, they blame their talent and they demote their talent. Not to improve, but just blame it on the talent. And they do that. We've read numerous stories here on the internet and heard interviews and shoots from wrestlers where they get blamed for not having success when they are not given the opportunity to do so. And I think that is completely ridiculous. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch defeated Team Bad. This was like a minute long. It's a pay-per-view match 1 week. Another week, it's a squash match. Who gives a flying fuck? I seriously, I've said I like Sasha. I like Charlotte. I like Becky Lynch. But, it's just these fucking diva things just fucking hurt my fucking head already. I'm not looking forward to it at Mania. This watered down, goofy, you know, poorly scripted, poorly acted, um, scripts that they do on the main roster. How is it that Sasha Banks was so cool in NXT, and the minute they bring her up to the main roster, it's like just fucking just ew. It's just a huge turnoff. Just like the way how they have her act and everything. Just her character totally fucking butchered. How do they manage this? It's so crazy that NXT is developmental. Technically, it is. They might have a lot of veteran stars like Austin Aries and Samoa Joe down there right now. But, how come this is developmental? But when they come to the main roster, it makes NXT look that like that is the main roster. And it makes Raw look like that is the fucking developmental. Like these guys and girls are rookies and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They make them look green on purpose. It's like, what the fuck are they doing? Then it was AJ Styles and Jericho against New Day, and I was surprised that New Day actually won. And this was a good match. And the thing was, when they came out with the t-shirts, I thought, oh, well, they already got a t-shirt design, so there you go. How predictable. But then there was an awesome finish. Jericho goes for the code breaker. Big E, like, fucking holds him in the air. Like, that's not, like, Jericho fucking jumps in his arms, basically. Big E catches him, twists him around in the big ending. That was a fucking good match and a good finish. And, that right there, now that was a really good display. They did a good job in that match. Then Jericho turned on AJ at the end. It felt a little Shawn Michaels-ish with holding his head and everything. He looked like he was about to French kiss him. And, I don't know what they got planned for Mania. I they don't have a belt, so they can't do a ladder match. But I really didn't want to see this match again. Saw it on Raw, saw it on SmackDown, saw it on Fastlane. Now we gotta watch it again. I mean, 4 times is fucking overkill already, and his storyline ain't that good. Now that Jericho is a heel, I hope he goes back to 2008 Jericho and not, the goofy version of his, 1999 character, which was a superior character. But the way he plays that character now is fucking terrible. And I don't even think he might even not be playing that character. This is just him acting like just a fucking goof. Just a whole different character that just fucking sucks. So we'll see how he does as a heel. Kalisto defeated Tyler Breeze. A couple of decent moves from Kalisto, but I get the feeling like they don't really give a fuck about Kalisto. They gave him the belt, took it off Del Rio. I've talked about this time and time again. Del Rio beat Cena. It was supposed to go over big. It didn't. It flopped. It was a waste of somebody beating Cena, a rare occurrence in WWE. That's a big moment. When somebody gets a win over Cena, it's like the crowd can't believe it. The people watching at home can't believe it. It's a rare occurrence. So they wasted it on a fucking, jobber like Del Rio. Drops the belt, wins it back, drops it again, and now we're here against Tyler Breeze. Fuck it. Fuck it all. Big Boss Man being inducted into the Hall of Fame. This is well deserved. People are gonna bash it. I already see people like, oh, he fed his dog to Al Snow. That storyline right there is better than any of the storylines from the past 5 or 6 years, motherfuckers. I defy you to come up with a better storyline than that. It wasn't a great storyline, but it was memorable. You remember it after all these years, don't you? It might be notorious, it might be infamous, but for God's sakes, it was memorable, and it was something at least a bit creative. That's more than they could say for this whole fucking show or all the shows they said they've had in 7, 8, 9 years, for fuck's sake. Ryback defeated Curtis Axel. Ryback is fucking huffing and puffing, telling Kalisto before his match that don't be in a tag team. It held them back. Listen, Ryback is going to be held back for the rest of his fucking wrestling career. How many times have they pushed this guy and held the reins back? Just because they gave him a pair of new tights doesn't mean fucking shit. They came in with a full head of steam with Ryback. They pulled back on him. Then they tried it again by turning him heel. Then they pulled it back. Then they tried putting him with Heyman. And then they just figured that he just fucking sucked. Then there was a reemergence of Ryback again. And it was like, oh man, he read a book and now it changed his fucking life. Oh, get the fuck out of here. Ryback fucking sucks. Doesn't matter if the guy could do a top rope fucking, whatchamacallit, fuck him in the ass moonsault. It doesn't matter what fucking moves this guy could do. He fucking sucks cock. Nobody likes him. Feed me more. You guys realize how fucking retarded that chant is? It sounds so childish and fucking dumb. I mean, who came up with that fucking chant? Probably some fucking goof. Yeah. The main event, Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt. We've seen this match 63 times before, but why not? Decent match, decent enough. The crowd was like fucking dead for a Chicago crowd. They couldn't fucking care less. And then the Wyatts come. Fucking, they beat him up. Disqualification. Triple H comes down to the ring. He stands face to face with Bray. That would be an interesting match, but somehow I don't see it happening. Triple H is obviously going to drop the title to Roman Reigns at Mania, so we won't get to see it. Again, wasted opportunity. It's a match we'll never get to see. So many matches we've never got to see in WWE because they wait so long to have them. and they just won't go about it. Take advantage of a situation. There's no time like the present's the old expression, but you know, they're gonna tease a match and it's not gonna happen. At a point, what the fuck's the point? Dean Ambrose surprises Triple H with dirty deeds, holds up the title, and I don't give a flying fuck about this fucking show. It was boring as fucking shit. It's like I watched this show and nothing progressed at all. Oh, and I forgot to mention this in the first segment. Vince McMahon trolls the audience with The Undertaker's music with the bell toll, and then he comes out. The thing is, it's like, ha ha, Vince, but The Undertaker really should be there. If he does have a Mania match, it's not about trolling people. It's about, actually building up for the fucking match. Like I said, what the fuck is this? The fucking brain surgeons here. This is wrestling. This is complicated shit. No, this ain't complicated shit. This is you just not knowing what the fuck you're fucking doing with your fucking company. Fuck this fucking show. I was fucking bored, and fuck Roadblock. It ain't gonna mean shit. We all know that Dean Ambrose is gonna lose. He's gonna fucking lose. Why would he win if he's gonna wrestle Brock Lesnar? It's so fucking predictable. It's a fucking waste of time. But I'll review it. I'll watch it because I ain't got nothing better to do. Oh fuck. Anyway, there you go, motherfuckers. I might not be able to review that show on time because I do have a concert to go see on Saturday, Kill Switch Engage. So I might not be able to get the review up, but I will do it when I get a chance. All right. It sucked.